All right, everyone is starting to roll in, so I appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us for this, our second day of Second Look activities here at the Stritch School of Medicine. My name is Daryl Neighbors. I am the Assistant Dean for Admissions and Recruitment here at Stritch. I am happy to be able to come to you again today from beautiful Chicago. I know that weather out there has been particularly tumultuous for many of you, so I hope that all are doing well. And obviously, if this kind of interferes with any attempt to zoom in, we totally understand. So feel free to let us know if we can help. We will put the SSOM admissions email page or email access into the chat for that purpose. But just quickly today, this is our webinar for enhancing your medical education. So these are the various programming departments at Stritch that provide opportunities for dual degrees or honors tracks. And research, of course. So this will be a great session for all of you. Just want to kind of let you know what's happening today. So after this session, immediately after this session at 12 noon, we have our bioethics and ODEI educational seminar, which will be online, and it'll be an interview with Dr. Amy Blair and Dr. Mona Hanna, who wrote the book, What the Eyes Don't See, which is your common read for the incoming class. We will follow that immediately afterwards with our webinar on financing your medical education with Jorge Oliveras, Assistant Director for Financial Aid. Tonight, we have a fellowship event on campus in the Alumni Center. So if you are in Chicago and wish to attend, hopefully you've RSVP'd for that event. That is at 5 o'clock. And then, of course, tomorrow is our in-person events, which will begin bright and early at 8:30, I believe is the time we have designated for the start of the registration. So hopefully you can all attend. All right, here we go. We're going to start with, I'm going to start with introductions for all of our presenters, and then we'll go immediately into the first presentation. So we have with us today Justin Hoke from our ministry department. He is a chaplain with the ministry department. He'll be presenting for ministry on their program opportunities. Dr. Ruth Cavenstock is director of the Masters of Public Health program here, and she'll be providing her presentation of the MPH program. Mark Law is associate director of the graduate business programs at the Quinlan Business School. Sorry, I think I had my paper up there. He will be with us to present on the dual degree option with the business school. Dr. Lena Hatchett is a associate professor and co-director of the Bioethics and Professionalism Honors Program here at Loyola. She'll present for Bioethics and Professionalism Honors. Dr. Teresa Nguyen is the director of Loyola's Center for Community and Global Health. She will be on to join us to talk about CCGH programming. And Dr. Kara Joyce is here. She's director of the Biostatistics course. She'll be providing details about research opportunities. So without further ado, Justin, take it away.
Thanks, Dean Neighbors. Welcome, everyone, on behalf of the Health Sciences Campus Ministry team. Ministry is grounded in our Loyola Jesuit tradition, Catholic tradition. It's here to help students, no matter your faith tradition or your spiritual background, really to interact with the world in a way that hopefully you will engage in service and social justice and become people for and with others and resilient and reflective physicians in the future. And one opportunity that we have for that is our Ignatian Service Immersion Program. So if we could get our slides up, that would be great. So talk through some of the ISI program. You may have heard about this. It began over 30 years ago, so it's a long-standing tradition here at Stritch and really for all our health sciences campus students. So it is an interdisciplinary opportunity to have a cross-cultural immersion experience with community partners, including health clinics, grassroots organizations, and other not-for-profit organizations all over Central and South America and some domestic sites. These are not a medical service mission trip or a medical brigade that you might be familiar with. ISI is more immersion based. So while a couple of our sites are clinical and you might be shadowing doctors, the main service component is in listening and learning from the community partners to really address the social determinants of health and health disparities. It's more than just a trip, so it does have an application process in the fall, interviews, and then placement process. And then in the spring semester, you would go through formation meetings with your small group before the trip happens, either in spring break or summer of your M1 year. And really, it's an opportunity to grow in our 5 values of simplicity, service, spirituality, social justice, and solidarity. Do we have the slides? I can't see the slides. Dean Neighbors.
The slides are up. I've been advancing
Okay.
them, but you
Okay, I'm
can't see
sorry, I
them.
can't see them for whatever reason.
Not able
So
to see them either.
All right, let me try to change the view. Hold on.
now I can see your screen. And so just continuing along with those 5 values, really want students to engage in those values of growing in spirituality, service, simplicity, and solidarity. We can go back 1 slide for me, please. Yeah, we'll stay there. And so here are some of our sites that you'll see. Central and South America sites in El Salvador, Belize, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador and Bolivia, and then a couple domestic sites, including Pine Ridge, South Dakota to the Indian Reservation, and a couple of trips that sometimes happen to the US-Mexico border. And each trip, so while you're growing in different learning opportunities about social determinants of health, they might be focused on more specific themes of global health, rural health, just learning what access to healthcare looks like in those sites. Obviously, many of them are grounded in trauma-informed care, thinking about how communities have moved past some civil wars or genocides and working towards resilience as a community. And immigration is a big theme as well. And then next slide for me. And so just to kind of wrap up, to kind of answer some frequently asked questions that speak to our program, it is open to all first-year medical students, and we have 1, 2, or 4-week opportunities. These are happen again during your spring break or the summer in between your first and second year. Some, but not all of the trips require Spanish fluency. So like the 4-week option definitely requires Spanish fluency. So somebody who might want a little bit more of a Spanish immersion can go on a 4-week option, but most of our 1 and sometimes the 2-week opportunities do not require Spanish fluency. You can participate in ISI and STAR, which you'll hear about a little bit later, as long as the ISI dates don't conflict with STAR commitments. And you'll hear more about the Center for Community and Global Health, but to know that our ISI trips do count towards field experience, so we're integrated into CCGH in that way. And then just a reminder that our applications will open in September, students find out placements by December, and then you'll have meetings in the spring. So we would love to have any and all med students participate in these trips. And that's just one of our offerings through ministry. You can find out more on the next slide at our website, as well as we'll be at a table tomorrow afternoon on Friday. So hope to see you there.
Thank you, Justin. Sorry you were the trial balloon here. We'll get this better. So we're going to advance the screen to the next presenter. So just let me know when you wish to advance the screens, Dr. Kaffenstock.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'd like to present to all of you a joint degree between the SSOM, the Street School of Medicine, and the Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health. That's the Doctor of Medicine and Masters of Public Health. Please advance. So why dual degree in medicine and public health? A degree in public health provides a broader lenses through which we can examine health and healthcare needs of individuals and their communities. Public health actually looks at health events from a population perspective, incorporating the biological, behavioral, environmental factors that influence health. In particularly, we like to examine what are the social determinants of health, meaning the environmental and contextual factors in which we are born, live, and age. And those include the spaces where we learn, the spaces where we work, play, the spaces where we engage with community, with our immediate networks and communities at large. In our MPH, we do have an emphasis on social justice, in achieving health equity, and in community engaged practices. We are also a competency-based curriculum in which we really focus and organize the knowledge and skills that our students will learn based on those competences that have been widely studied, and we have evidence that they are key skill sets and knowledge base that our students should have to work in the field of public health. We also foster interprofessional opportunities by working in health from a comprehensive perspective, such as that of the social determinants of health. We can't work in silos. We need to work together at the different sectors that affect the lives of individuals and communities. Next, please. So in our MPH program, we offer 3 tracks and soon to offer an additional one. We offer a track in epidemiology, which is our basic discipline to help us assess and quantify the burden of harmful health events, morbidity and mortality, among other types of health events, and the risk factors associated with the occurrence of those events. We have a track on global health equity. We think global not from the standpoint of international health, it includes that, but from the standpoint of globalization, understanding health as a phenomenon that also has gone through the process of globalization, and the COVID pandemic is a prime example of the globalization of health events. And the third track that we offer is a track on public health policy and management, and those interested on the decision-making process in which helps us decide on the organization, the structure and the delivery of health services, as well as the outcomes from these services. That is the track that those interested in that area should follow. We will be introducing a new track on quantitative methods, like the epidemiology track, but focus on biostatistics. Our epidemiology and global health equity track can be done in a combination of online and on-campus courses, while our policy and management track can be completed fully online. Our degree has 42 credit hours that the students need to complete, and those include 6 courses or 18 credits of our core courses. All students need to take those courses, 15 credits on the track that the students select to follow. Those are the tracks I just explained to you. 2 courses that are electives, and those are the 2 courses in which there is some double dipping with the medical school. And students are required to do a practicum and a capstone project as well. Next, please. So how does that work? The medical students are first accepted to SSOM, excuse me, and they will defer the M1, so they can complete what we call the M0. The M0 is when they will complete most of their MPH coursework, entailing the courses that they will take in the summer, fall, and spring prior to starting medical school. Next. What we see as the benefits for the students, excuse me, in completing the dual degrees. First, they will do it in 5 years. Medical school is 4 years. The MPH is 2 years. It will strengthen their healthcare provider training with knowledge and skills in population health sciences. Excuse me, I'm coming out of a cold and my throat is working up a little bit. And will acquire professional competencies and tools to tackle health equity issues in their practice. They will also follow a cohort within a cohort. Many MD-MPH programs, the students will break around the M3 and to do their MPH. In doing the M0, you will be able to continue with your classmates from the MPH through medical school and continue with your cohort in the medical school as well. Next, please. For the admissions requirement, once you are admitted to the medical school, you will complete a GPM application, a Graduate Professional Enrollment Management application, with a statement or purpose, your transcripts, and this application should be completed before April 30th. We will then review your applications, the vast majority, if not all of you, once you are in the MP, are in SSOM, our requirements will be very much those that have led to your acceptance into the School of Medicine. So you're likely to be admitted to the program. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're at Mark Law with the dual degree MBA program. Mark.
Apologies. I'm
okay.
sorry about that.
Right.
I left myself on mute. If you can go to the next slide, that would be great. A little bit about a big picture of Quinlan. Quinlan is part of the Water Tower campus at Loyola. We are located in the Schreiber Center. We have 5 MBA options today. That we're going to be talking about the Flex MBA because that's what the MD MBA students follow. We do have specialty masters. We have about 500 graduate business students in the Quinlan School of Business. We're unique in that we are on a quarter system. So this particular program ideally is done in a year period, a 4-quarter period. If the students start in August, they would finish at the end of the next year after 4 quarters. There is some flexibility in that. Next slide. So again, we're part of the Schreiber Center, the picture on the right there, part of the Water Tower campus. Next slide. So most of the students enrolling in the MBA MD program are high-level achieving students who want to be in administrative or foresee their medical careers leaning towards administrative CEO sort of focused roles in their career. So having a solid business knowledge is really key to that. So the MBA program is designed to provide understanding of strategy, financial analysis, data analysis, leadership of diverse groups of people, from your, other medical doctors and nurses and care team to people who are in more of administrative roles throughout the healthcare system. Next slide. We have some unique coursework. We have a consulting course that our students take. We have several data analysis, understanding how data can affect decision making and how to use data to make critical decisions. And then there's also coursework that deals with the key components of leadership and communication, and really being able to direct diverse teams. I mean, the healthcare industry, like many industries, is constantly evolving and looking for ways to be innovative, and the MBA program is designed to help build skill sets in those areas. Next slide. So part of the curriculum includes accounting courses, finance, marketing, economics, supply chain. The unique thing about the MBA Flex program is that students who have coursework in those areas, perhaps in an undergraduate or other areas, can waive some of those courses as well. So it's a 16 course program that could be waived down to up to 12 courses total. And that's done when the students are admitted to the program. Next slide, please. A little bit specifically on coursework that students take, there is a business communication and leadership course. There's a research methods and data-driven decision-making class. We do require an ethics course for all of our degree students. We have a choice for an entrepreneurship course or international management, a finance course, leadership, people management, and then two experiential learning courses that are sort of capstone courses for the MBA program is our strategy and leadership class and our business consulting course. So the students in those classes actually have external clients that come in and present a business problem that they face. And then the students work on consulting and working on creating a business model for them to solve their business problem. Which is a really great skill set to have. You've got faculty there, you've got people who are helping you learn how to come up with solutions to business issues. Next slide. Again, students take up to 4 classes per quarter. You complete the program in a year. There is some flexibility in that. It could be extended beyond that if the student chose that. We have a fall quarter start, which is the end of August. Next slide. Basically, the online application is through graduate enrollment. We do require a letter of support from the Dean's Office at Stritch. We do not require the GMAT or GRE for this program. We have an M0 start, or students can start in their second or third year of their medical academic work. We do have a limited cap on students in this program, but we're happy to talk with you more about that on a one-to-one basis. Next slide. Tuition is charged per course. So again, you would be taking a total of 16 classes. There is a tuition discount for this program. Next slide. And then my contact information is there if you'd like to learn more. We do have informational sessions just on the MBA program, which you could learn more about details about our program. And thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, now we're up to bioethics and bioethics honors with Dr. Lena Hatchett.
Hi, and welcome to everyone. I first want to tell you about the honors program, and this is a self-directed opportunity with the aim of fostering the character and the intellect and professionalism of our students. And since it's self-directed, students get the chance to really define their projects, their service experience, or their clinical experience. The program provides exposure to the foundational issues in bioethics and professionalism, and it allows students to be guided and integrate the Jesuit values such as social justice through the development and the completion of a capstone project. Next slide. There are, in addition to the honors program, there are many ways that our students can get involved in bioethics at Stritch. Our faculty teach the sessions in Patient-Centered Medicine 1 and Patient-Centered Medicine 3. We offer ethics grand rounds for students and a vertical curriculum. I've already mentioned the honors program. We have a physician's vocation program, a social justice elective, a student design led and implemented bioethics interest group that's growing. And then we have an MD MA program for MD and bioethics. And several students each year take advantage of that opportunity. Our faculty in bioethics come from very many domains. So we represent clinical ethics, Catholic ethics, dental ethics, public health ethics, my area, research ethics, and more. So mentors within the program and within the honors programs come to you with a diversity of experience, and you get matched with the faculty that relates to your self-directed process. Next slide. I wanted to talk about the narrative change that happens within bioethics. And on this slide, you'll see a typical medical view of nutrition education that might prevent heart disease in a population. So we put a lot of emphasis on nutrition, and folks may look at the importance of food choices or health responsibility that an individual patient takes, and the health knowledge that they might bring to improving nutrition. And this is a well-researched and important clinical medicine area. But in bioethics, next slide, we really look at the ethical issues that are associated with the context of the culture and the moral identity within the relationship between food and health. And some of the work that we do in the department is to look at the concept of not just what knowledge people have about nutrition, but the idea of food justice and who benefits and who's burdened by the lack of access to food. Are our interventions and our opportunities providing an emergency assistance, and who's responsible for sustainability when it comes to food justice? And when we change the narrative and talk about this context, we're looking at the role food industries play, or food affordability, or the food environment. And two important ethical questions are who benefits and who burdens. So in our honors program, as in our dual degree, students get the opportunity to pose their own questions around social justice, and they have a 3-year stint to explore that in the development of a project. I look forward to meeting you tomorrow and answering any additional questions about bioethics at Stritch. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hatchett. Next up is Dr. Nguyen with our Community and Global Health Center. Dr. Nguyen.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Nguyen. I'm an emergency medicine physician, and I direct our Center for Community and Global Health. Next slide, please. So you've seen a lot of common themes and heard a lot of common themes with some of our previous panelists. Our CCGH is no different. We are very much focused on health equity, social justice, ethically engaged community service, both locally and nationally. And, the goal of our program and our center is really to engage students who are interested in working with underserved populations in their careers, learning more about different topics within community and global health, and doing it in an ethical way. And also with a lot of collaboration with many of our community partners. Next slide, please. So this is our team. Dr. Kevin Boblik is MedPeds. He is our assistant director. Dr. Justin Harbison is our director of research. He's technically housed under Parkinson's, so there's a lot of overlap actually with MPH students and a lot of research that's being done in the public health arena too that will also qualify as your community and global health scholarly project. And then Ms. Evelyn Gonzalez, who's our program manager. Next slide. So a little bit about our honors program. So our honors program is one of 3 honors programs that's offered here at Stritch. So bioethics being one, CCGH, and then STAR, research honors is the third one. And so we typically accept about 15% of the student body each year. Applications are due typically around November, and then we'll give you notification right before winter break, just so that if you're considering applying to any of the other 2 honors programs, that it gives you a chance to decide. You guys have already heard a lot about social determinants of health. Many of our seminar series are engaged and centered around social determinants of health, and really from some practical clinical applications. So you'll hear from physicians who are doing this work both locally as well as internationally. We really try to structure these seminar series topics into what we consider essential and supported topics to cover a wide variety of issues that you'll need to know about in your everyday practice. And then another bulk of our honors program is this field experience, which we consider community engagement. And so this can happen longitudinally over 4 years. We actually have a 150-hour field experience requirement, with 80 of those hours done the summer between your first and second year of medical school. And then finally, we do have a scholarly project requirement as well, and that can take place in any number of forms, whether it's the QI project, whether you're working closely with a community partner, or perhaps even doing a clinical research project with a focus on social determinants of health. Next slide, please. So this is something that's open to the entire Stritch community, whether you're part of our honors program or not. So we actually also oversee our local underserved as well as international electives. Again, this is open to all 4th-year physicians in training, and regardless of whether or not you're part of our honors program. And so many of our local underserved electives, you can actually go to our website and check out what's available. But right now we do a climate change elective, street medicine, which I also oversee, global health epidemiology, and IHS being a few. There's a more extensive list too, which you can check out on our website. And then right now, many of our international partners in Bolivia, Vietnam, Ghana, as well as some independently designed sites are also available to our 4th-year physicians in training. I know many of you probably have questions about the current state of global health, given current legislation. A lot of this will be taking on a case-by-case basis. The one advantage of being at a private institution is that we will still have funding internally for the programs that we want to do. But it just in terms of our local as well as international community partners, we will need to take that on a case-by-case basis. But as of right now, all of the international electives that were planned to go this year are still going to be happening. Next slide, please. So that was a very brief overview. I encourage you to go check out our website, which has a lot more information. You can feel free to reach out to us at ccgh@luc.edu. And I know many of us many of you might want to know, what does like a typical profile look like for a CCGH honors students? And so I've actually included a QR code here to our class of 2024 commencement slides. So actually we have a separate graduation celebration for all of our honors students the Friday of graduation weekend, and we have everybody come together with their families and they talk about their scholarly projects, their field experience work. So this gives you a little bit of a sense of what that profile and what that portfolio might look like over your 4 years and what you might be engaged with as well. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nguyen. All right, and next up, we have Dr. Kara Joyce with Research Honors.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm here to talk to you about 2 programs within Stritch, the STAR program and Research Honors. Next slide, please. The first program is the STAR program. The STAR stands for the Student Training and Approaches to Research. This is a program offered at the end of the M1 year. So we have information sessions kind of right at the get-go, beginning of your M1 year, and then you can apply to this program, and it starts in the summer. And then if you choose, you can continue on into Research Honors, which will occur over your M2 through M4 years. Next slide. So why might you be interested in the STAR program and summer research? Well, we know that, research experience will really lay down the foundation to your future practice in medicine. You will be better consumers of the medical literature if you contribute to the medical literature during your training. We offer experience in clinical trials, many types of research, basic science, clinical, translational. Additionally, research experience can help enhance your residency applications. We know that's a very competitive process, so it's an additional way to kind of stand out if you have this research experience at Loyola. You can also gain valuable practical experience either in a lab, a wet lab, or in the dry lab in a clinical team science setting to really understand the nuts and bolts of how evidence is built. Next slide. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. Within the STAR program, this is available to M1 students during the summer, again, between the M1 and M2 year. It starts in May. We take students of all levels of experience. You could be completely new to research or have prior research experience. Past experience is not required. And then we have some really great mentors at Loyola in the basic science, clinical, translational, public health. So oftentimes STAR students are actually mentored by Parkinson faculty and medical education research as well. And we do offer competitive funding for this program, both coming from the School of Medicine and the Dean, as well as NIH with our T35 programs. Next slide. So the process for the STAR program, in your M1 year, you'll identify a mentor. We have a couple of informational sessions where mentors come and talk about their research, their lab, kind of their past experience with students. So it can help you to identify who might have a good overlap with your own interests or who you're just excited to work with and learn from. You'll write together with your mentor a brief research proposal. It's 4 pages, 2 pages of the methods of your project, as well as a mentor and a personal statement. So your mentor will describe their lab and what they do, and you'll also write a personal statement about your interest in participating in research. These are reviewed internally by our research funding committee. So it's kind of like a mini NIH style review where we argue about kind of which ones are best suited to work. And then they're funded based on the ranking by the faculty members who review them. Next slide, please. So if you're enrolled in the STAR program, this is a full-time in-person program. It's over 8 weeks in the summer, starting in May, and it goes through about mid-July, M1 to M2 year. You need to attend all of the weekly in-person meetings. We have some great seminar sessions on responsible conduct of research. I give talks on biostatistics. You learn a little bit about the IRB process, data collection, many other topics. And then the other requirement for STAR is that you present your research at our St. Albert's Day Forum. This occurs every fall, and it's really a campus-wide celebration of research. It's a really great day. Next slide, please. To be eligible for STAR, you basically just need to be in good academic standing, passing all your coursework in the first year. If you do choose to do the Ignatian Service immersion during the summer, during this 8-week period, you can't do both. As you heard earlier, there are other options to do that maybe over the spring break or another time, but you can't unfortunately do those both together. And then if you are awarded a STAR project, you get, it's about $4,500 as a stipend to you. This is not money to do the research. Your mentor will be kind of responsible for making sure the research is feasible with their funding or other support. But the stipend is really for you to stay around Maywood and come to the courses over the summer. The biostatistics support as well is completely covered through this program. Next slide, please. So after the STAR program is concluded, you may opt in to do research honors. This starts in your M2 year with another 8 seminars over 2 quarters, and then it continues through the rest of your training. You do need a letter of recommendation from either your STAR mentor or a new mentor should you choose to kind of change gears at the research honors point. You'll need to complete a research elective either in your M3 or your M4 year. This is a great time to kind of work on you taking your STAR project through to publication. You will present at St. Albert's Day one more time, either in your M3 or your M4 year. So maybe progression of your project towards the publication. And then another requirement to have the distinction of research honors on your kind of degree would be to complete and submit a paper publication to a journal prior to graduation. This is kind of nice in that you have to submit it. It doesn't necessarily have to be accepted yet. Oftentimes peer review can take a bit. So as long as your paper is submitted, you can qualify. We see about 65 per year that go on to research honors, and then about a third of those students stick with it throughout the rest of their training and graduate with the research honors distinction. Next slide. So other options for research, you don't have to do STAR. You can do STAR equivalents at another institution if you have a mentor from undergrad or elsewhere that you'd like to work with. You just need to have a letter from that mentor approved by April 15th of your M1 year to get the STAR equivalency, and that will allow you to continue on into research honors as well. Research honors, ideally your mentor should be a Loyola faculty member for that. Next slide. Finally, just a little plug for my team. So if you do the STAR program or research honors, you have a team of 9 biostatisticians who are here to work with you and collaborate with you. Really look forward to working with you on your research. It's one of my highlights of being at Loyola is getting to work with dozens of medical students every year. So with that, happy to take any questions about STAR and research honors or research at Loyola. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Let's make sure you can all see the panelists now. All right, so this will start the general Q&A. So for attendees, you have a Q&A feature, and if you choose to use it, you can address your question directly to one of our panelists or state generally all as a response. There is a question that was submitted by anonymous attendee. For those considering an MD, MBA, this is for Mark, that does not start with the M0. Are applications due during the MD years or before the MD years start?
That's a great question because I have just moved into this role, and let me see if I can find something in my notes about that.
Well, if I can jump in, I think from my perspective, from my experience, it's typically the case that students will disembark from the class after they've completed the step 1 exam. So either after the 2nd year or after the 3rd year tends to be the most reasonable time to disembark if you're in the MD, MBA program. You also, have, a lot of your electives in that 4th year. You have your clerkships in the 3rd year. So there tends to be an expressed desire for continuity between 2nd and 3rd year. So that's often the case as to why students will disembark after the 3rd year. But again, the M0 option is available for the MBA as well as the MPH and the bioethics MA as well. All right, so I hope you answer that one, Mark.
Okay.
We have another question here. Can students pursue multiple honors programs? So this is for everyone, I guess.
I can answer that. So You can do CCGH and bioethics. You can't do CCGH and research honors just because of the summer restrictions with the fact that we require 80 hours for a field experience for CCGH. And I believe there's I think at least 40 hours per week for research honors with the lectures, and Kara, you can confirm.
Yep. It's a full-time in-person program over the 8 weeks, so it's pretty intensive. Yeah.
All right, any other responses there? If not, I'll move on. You can see my face now. So for students considering an MD, MPH, do they have to do the MPH during the M0 period? Is there an opportunity to pursue the MPH at another time? So I think we already kind of addressed this, but do you have anything to add, Dr. Kaffenstock?
My response is absolutely. The M0 is our default model, and we see specific benefits to it. But we do have students who elect to start at different times. That's a conversation with the MD and PH program director, Dr. Amy Luke, to try to define the best time for that, but it's absolutely possible.
All right, thank you. This, I believe, is for Dr. Joyce. Could you talk a little more about the STAR equivalency bullet point you mentioned, how it works, if there is a particular location that they're hoping to do research in or at during the summer? How would they make that request?
Sure. I'm not super involved in the kind of granting of those permissions, so I'd have to follow up a little bit on that. But generally, sometimes a student is going to go back to their kind of hometown or their where they went to undergrad, and we're maybe working on a research project with somebody else there. That's completely fine and acceptable. Again, the mentor would need to write a letter describing what the activities would be, what the project is, and that type of information, and they need to submit it and have it approved. Dr. Colleen Fitzgerald is the medical director of the CRO and the assistant dean for the STAR program, and she can answer more specific questions about what might or might not count towards the that type of equivalency.
Okay, thank you. Initially, we received some questions in advance, and a lot of them were directed to research. So while we've got your attention, Dr. Joyce, I'll just kind of combine a couple of these.
Sure.
I think that there was like a general question about what percentage of the STAR projects are funded, what percentage of students overall engage in STAR, and then more specifically in terms of the type of research that is allowed in STAR. Is it wet lab? Is it clinical? Is it basic science? So I know that's a lot of stuff rolled into one question.
Sure. So all types of research, there's definitely a good mix of basic science. We have microbiology and immunology, virology, microbiome studies, all sorts of animal experiments on the basic science side. My team mostly works on the clinical research side. So if you have a clinician with a great question, but they might not know how to analyze the data, they'll come to us in biostats to help with that piece of it. So it's a great team science experience. Our Department of Medical Education offers a lot of opportunities for research there, as well as public health projects. So anything you want to go into, you can find a mentor for sure at Loyola that can help you get experience in that area. It's about, it varies from year to year in terms of the participation and the funding levels. So we do have 2 T35 grants that have 12 slots each for the funding. And then we also have the dean sponsors several slots. So usually each year it's about 50 to 60 students that participate in STAR. I've seen it as low as 40 and maybe as high as 80 in the past. And then about 60 go on to research honors. And then again, about a third of those kind of stick with research honors throughout. Did I miss anything there? I think I caught most of it.
No, that was great. Thank you for that. So I just want to sort of let everyone know that we'll send the slides out. We'll send a survey out for the session. We'll send the slides out as a PDF. That way you'll have the information. There's a question for ministry. regarding community building events and activities. You mentioned some, but in terms of like what you would expect students to participate in, what do you think is probably the most important of those community engagement opportunities that students might see in the first, couple, 3 months of medical school?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our jump retreat is open to all incoming medical students, and it's a 2-day, 1-night retreat the Wednesday and Thursday before orientation begins. So if you're already here in Chicago, it'd be a great opportunity to meet a good majority of your class. We usually have about 70 M1s, incoming M1s participate, and you'll be led by a team of 10 to 12 or so M2s. So you get a chance to have some mentorship opportunities there, while also learning about the Stritch culture, Ignatian spirituality, taking a moment to reflect on your transition to med school. So it's, again, just a really great opportunity to meet some students before you start your orientation. And then ministry does a lot of other events during the first couple months to help you meet each other, but also meet faculty and staff, do like a first year dinner. So dinner opportunities to socialize. We have small group reflection opportunities as well. So a lot of great socializing, community engagement, building opportunities, but would definitely recommend everyone go on the jump retreat if you can. And those registration will open up like at the beginning of May usually.
All right, thank you, Justin. So to sort of link your department with CCGH, there's a question regarding ISI and whether or not that trip experience can contribute to the CCGH honors field experience. And are there other main ways that students can gain this field experience? So a question for both you and Dr. Nguyen.
Yeah, yes. And the short answer is yes, absolutely. So many of our CCGH students actually do end up doing a combination of ISI and some other field experience. We actually count hours based on how long you'll be on your ISI trip. So if you do a 2-week trip, that actually counts as 40 hours. And then most people will come back and get involved in a local community organization. So just to give you an example of some organizations that you can get involved with here locally, it can just really depend on your area of interest and what underserved population you want to work with. So you can do street medicine, Housing For, the Night Ministry, which are all organizations that work with individuals experiencing homelessness. If you're interested in like immigrant and migrant health, we also have organizations that work very closely with those populations, women's health, any number of underserved populations too. So we have very many connections both locally, and as well as if you're interested in potentially even going back to your hometown for that summer, which I totally understand that, that's the one summer you get. We also have some connections too for students that have gone back to their hometowns for the summer and have been able to establish connections with community organizations there locally.
All right, this is more of it's an interesting question. Kenny writes, let's say I wanted to study abroad and understand the underserved populations of Australia, even though that may not be a ready-to-visit site, either in ISI or CCGH. Are there options for me to do this myself? Would I get faculty or administrative support or resources to assist?
Yeah, so it might depend on how long you want to go and when you want to go. We do offer a 4-week independently designed international elective. So we will have students that have specific areas or countries of interest that they want to go to. And that's something that just needs to be worked out very far in advance because we do have international affiliation agreements and there's a lot of other logistics that we need to work on. But if that's something that you want to do and it's for a 4-week as a 4th-year international elective, that's something that we can help support. If it's something that's longer term, or if it's, you want to take some time off to do that, then that's something I'm not sure that we can support long term.
Okay. Let's see, we've got a couple minutes left. So there's a general question about the benefits of obtaining a dual degree as a future physician. So those of you with the dual degree programs, as you've seen, students graduate with these degrees, kind of what's your sense of the opportunities? How more robust are they? That I guess is the general tenor of the question.
I can jump in about the MBA program. So again, MBA students are, looking at strategy. They're looking at financial decisions affecting their organizations. people management skills. Those are all things that are most of the students that we see who do the MD, MBA program are looking to build their skill set in those areas because they want to move into higher level CEOs, basically, administrative roles within the healthcare industry. So that toolkit that they get, business strategy and business acumen are really crucial.
From the standpoint of the MD, MPH, and as I mentioned in my presentation, the ability to equip yourself with knowledge, skills, and tools to understand the larger context in which health events occur and have this more holistic and comprehensive understanding of health events seems to be one of the great benefits appreciated by our MD, MPH students, who oftentimes will go into primary care specialties as well, and find it very beneficial, the professional training and education that they got in public health, even though they will be working more likely as direct providers of care to individuals. But they may also be working to develop programs in the organizations, the healthcare settings in which they will be working. They may be having to assess some of the activities, programs, and services that are provided, and they have those skills to be able to initiate that process as well. They may be participating with their professional organization or other organizations in advocacy and policy development. They will have some of the toolkits for policy under their belt as well. So this really provides an interprofessional experience and an interdisciplinary experience in which they can bring together their skill sets for caring for individuals and caring for populations.
All right, thank you. Any other responses? Okay, we have one last question from Grace here. She's asking, I don't know if this was addressed already. She's asking if students are able to participate in both an honors program as well as a dual degree program. What are your thoughts on that?
For CCGH, yes. So typically, most commonly, we will get MPH students that have already completed their MPH, and they start basically as, regular M1, with the rest of the classmates, so you can still fulfill those requirements. We've had maybe one MD PhD student in the past, but since you'll be here longer and you have more time, we can certainly work out that on a case-by-case basis.
And for public health or bioethics, if you're doing a dual degree, are you also eligible for the honors track, or could you do honors tracks there?
In bioethics, you could do it, but there's a lot of overlap. So we really want to see what the advantage is for you. We would, in your time, to choose between the honors program or the dual degree. There's a lot of redundancy there.
And in regards to the MPH, as Eureka already mentioned, we have some overlap in there, and we have had students that have partaken of both, and we have had our students who have also been part of the STARS program.
All right. I think that we've cleared out the question queue. Oh, there's one more. Are there many students who participate in CCGH honors as an MD MBA student? So that's really specifically drilling down to the MBA student doing honors in CCGH.
Historically, I mean, I've been here now almost 10 years. I don't think I've had anybody do the MBA program, MD, MBA as well, CCGH, but that doesn't mean it's not possible.
I concur with that statement completely.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to thank our panelists so much for their time during their busy schedules today to speak with each of our attendees. We will provide the slide deck as a PDF to all those who are on the call. And we will also provide a survey. So hopefully you can give us some feedback on this. I apologize for technical issues early on. We have about 2 minutes before the bioethics ODI event. So I'm going to let you disembark for that. I want to thank our panelists once again and thank our attendees, and we'll see you later today and hopefully tomorrow. Take care. Thank you.